I'm Alex.
And I'm Tony.
And check out these shirts we got.
At Comic-Con, yeah.
Yeah, near Comic-Con 2011.
Well, you had to order that one
Well, because they didn't have this size in. And no, it's not the biggest size. Anyway, this is the Miscellaneous video. We're talking about the Miscellaneous game footage we have, and
all the extra footage that we didn't
the clips were not the greatest quality that I felt I couldn't just release them as one video, or because they're so short that I really couldn't put them in their own video without really feeling like this is nothing.
Yeah.
So let's start off with what we saw from Capcom, which was by far the most crowded booth of the whole show.
That's what I got to say about that. We got footage of Resident Evil Revelations.
Yeah. So what you got to play a little bit of it?
It pretty much was more or less the demo that came with Mercenaries 3D. It played just like Resident Evil 4 or 5. I never got my hands on with that. But it moves around. I couldn't even get out of the freaking door.
Yeah, it was stuck.
I couldn't figure out where it was going.
Anyway, we had trouble with the backlighting. We're like, we just keep going, and then we never actually had to play it again.
And then there was Resident Evil Operation Raccoon City, which was playable. I recorded some footage of these 4 people playing together as the bad guys, or
the bad guys,
the umbrella guys, or whatever they are. But they were playing as them, and one guy turned into like a zombie. But the zombie started attacking. Basically, when you become a zombie, you lose control of your character, and you start attacking their teammates unless you get cured. Yeah. But it's kind of weird, and
well, we didn't get time to play it at all, so it's not like you got any feeling for it. But many people were not too happy with the game. And when it comes out in February, we can't really say whether it's a good or bad game until we try it ourselves.
Yep.
So, moving, and then, of course, there's also another thing from Capcom.
Oh, yeah, the Marvel vs. Capcom.
Ultimate Marvel vs. Capcom 3.
Excuse me. Now, a lot of people are playing as Phoenix Wright, because he was just announced, and people were really getting into the character of him.
Yep, and lately, the new characters were also announced, like Raccoon, or Raccoon. I'm losing track of how to pronounce
the word. There were more characters announced recently, and
the game comes out like in a week or so. Or it's out now, and I don't know.
Who knows?
We might be out of the loop. We're out of the loop! So, also the Capcom and other stuff, we'll get to that later. And, moving just over the hall, we jumped from
Square-Enix
to Square-Enix. And Square-Enix, we got to try to get some footage of Final Fantasy 13-2. I was not as much as I wanted, but
well, I was intending to record that as B-roll because we were going to go to that
later, but we never actually. We actually kind of wandered, but we'll get to that.
We got lost.
So we get to that game. There's apparently a lot of time travel involved.
Yeah. Based on what I saw, it was crazy. There's a lot of detail in the game based on what I saw. The problem is, I thought the frame rate ran a little better, but it's kind of slow. Maybe it was because it was still a demo or something.
Well, it comes out January. So
I thought it was coming out this year. Oh well.
No, it comes out this year in Japan, I think.
Okay.
I can't remember anymore.
Either way, it's like Chrono Trigger meets Final Fantasy.
Yeah. And it's still, remember, it's supposed to be like less linear than the last
Well, that's good, because that was the big complaint about the first one.
Yeah, at least to a point. Then on the opposite side of the show floor, there was Ubisoft, which had about 3 or 4 big games that they showed off.
And strangely enough, it wasn't really monitored either. We've got footage of Rayman Origins, which had its own little like trees and stuff like that, and 2 screen set up, and headphones. Which is why there's no
headphones are in a lot of things. And it was really annoying because I was like, Tony, just put up the mic and attach the speakers to it, but I don't think that would have worked. It was an idea, but it never came to be. Also, it was really hard to play the game because the demos required 4 people to play it at once, and we only had 2 of us.
Yeah, so, and one of us was holding the camera.
Yeah, one of us holding the camera, so it's not like you could just be like, oh, I'm playing the game.
And one thing I had a concern, but it did look good.
It looked smooth, the music was decent enough, and also the sound effects were humorous. There's a lot of funny ha-ha-ha moments to it, but it looked really good, and I think it's going to be one of those games people forget about. And they're like, oh, you guys didn't play Rayman Origins? It's great! And they're like, oh, I was too busy playing Modern Warfare.
I think you should get the hype train going on that one.
Well, choo-choo.
But there were a few concerns I have about the game. One, of course, is that is there a drop-in, drop-out feature?
I didn't see one in the demo, and we spent a long time trying to find it, let me tell you.
Yeah, we did.
So anyway, that was Ubisoft when we got. There was other games we didn't get film of. We'll get to that in the next video. We jump from there to Microsoft, which was so secluded from everything else in the video game section. I noticed.
Yeah,
it was like this one section was all these like models that they were selling, and then there was like the stuff with Kinect. But then there was the area that inside, like, this 2 demos that we didn't get footage of, and our thing we'll talk about next time. And inside, we saw footage of Trials Evolution, which I already posted videos of, and Orcs Must Die, which is already out. And then the other one, though, is Fusion Genesis.
Yeah.
And Fusion Genesis is developed by Starfire Games, which is an ex-Rare group. To me, looks like some sort of dual stick shooter,
which is quite common now.
Which is very common. In
fact, it's probably the most. It's so common. It's almost like
it's hemorrhage inducing. But it does have a great look to it, and I think there's a lot more to it than just
RPG elements. And
yeah,
stuff.
and then like space, it's got space frontier things going on. Like maybe you have to like, pick up supplies and stuff. I didn't get to play it because we were too busy bouncing around at that point, so I didn't get time to get hands on. But I can tell you that from the clip it looked really good from that perspective. And from there, from Microsoft, we jump to Activision. Activision had like 2 or 3 3 games there.
Yeah,
and we got footage kind of one of them, Prototype 2, which comes out next year.
Yeah, we went there, and I thought I saw like demos that we could play it, but it turned out it was a multiplayer demo instead of a single player demo, so I couldn't just
like,
jump right in.
Yeah, couldn't really get it.
Because I have no idea how to play the game, so it would feel like I was the noob.
You are a noob.
Shut up.
There was also a helicopter right next to it you could kick, which is based off of a Penny Arcade strip. But you could also like pre-order and get like
if you pre-ordered the game at the show floor, even if you didn't put any money down, you would get a cool like foam claw thing from the game that you could put on your hand. It was cool, but
it was cool, but we had to keep on moving at that point. I think at that point we really had to leave at that point.
Yeah, by that time,
so we couldn't really get a good time to actually play the game. Anyway, I think that's all the miscellaneous footage I have on me. Stay tuned for our post-mortem and final impressions of New York Comic Con 2011. I'll get tired.
Say something funny!
No!
Look, you want to watch you on camera?